Hey folks, MACT here, back on this 13th of October, and no, it's not Friday, it's a Saturday, so thank goodness for all things like that. Just wanted to get on board here today. Before I head out, I got a couple projects I'm going to go out and do for videos that seem to pop up here lately, so I figure I'll strike while the iron's hot and cover a few things. But first, I don't know if it's a rant or whatever is. I tell you what, a few things that just burn my craw as far as getting things fixed up, and I hate seeing people being taken advantage of, and I'm just seeing that, and it just makes me I'm just not happy with it. Okay, folks being taken advantage of. When people don't bother to do the right thing, and that's all I can say. It just burns me as far as that goes. So don't know what to say. I tell you, I'm almost speechless on some of this stuff, so I'll get right into it. It just burns me. Transmissions, the 6F50. I see more and more people taking their transmissions to transmission shops. And I'm going to say transmission shops because this is where I'm personally seeing a lot of problems. And in case in point, I had a conversation on the phone with someone and spent an unknown amount of money on a transmission rebuild. And this transmission company, in my own personal opinion, took full advantage of the situation. And rather than replacing this TSS and OSS sensors on a 93,000 mile 6F50 transmission on a first gen Edge, they ended up paying over, say, $5,000 to get this transmission rebuilt because of two sensors for $100. That's what I'm saying. This is crazy, folks. They took the transmission apart, according to the information I got, and they said, oh, look, the clutch plates have markings in them. Duh. What do you think clutch plates are? They're friction. There's going to be markings on them. Now, there's a certain level of markings, but yes, there's going to be wear marks on them. But that doesn't mean the transmission is toast. They will have that. So this was a complete misdiagnosis. It was a total shotgun approach to fix a problem that they didn't even know how to diagnose. Their answer is to rebuild the transmission. And guess what? They got lucky. They replaced the TSS and OSS sensors and God knows whatever else. And yes, the transmission is running, but that transmission was nowhere near being dead. The 6F50 does not have mechanical failures like that. Sure, there's a few flywheels that have been recalled because of poor production and maybe even a torque converter. But the overall internals of the 6F50 transmission are not suffering. They're just not there. Very, 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 very low percentage of failures, and it's usually because people did not change the transmission fluid and they kept driving it with the TSS, OSS sensors failing and kept slamming that thing in there and ruined the transmission ultimately. Yes, I'm upset about this because I do not like people being taken advantage of, and this is just insane. Okay? All this can be fixed for a relatively cheap price, and if you are a mechanic and do this, you should be ashamed of yourself. This is just purely bad business. That's all there is to it. Just outright bad business on your part, and that word spreads. Okay, so, and you deserve everything you get as far as a write-up and a response. But, that just burns me on that, along with a few other things. But overall, that's how I feel about it, and that's my major rant on this, because you guys got to be good consumers. You got to know what you're doing. There's no way I would spend that much money on a transmission overhaul. I would not do that. Not ever. You would not catch me doing that. And I would ask them if they're insane first. But, that's just my little rant on that. you know, I had to get that off my chest because I hate seeing this happening. This is not right. So anyway, the other things that we're cover off of. Sorry, they just got on me. I hate seeing that and going through that. But anyway, PTUs, yes, they are garbage, but they can be taken care of and they can last longer. It all comes down to maintenance. And all I can say on that is we recently go through and see, well, would you buy an older PTU that has an older model year they're selling on eBay or something? Yeah, just keep in mind they're selling their overstock. They probably bought it at an auction to get rid of parts because they got new parts, whatever the case is. So just keep in mind, always check the last letter of the part number and look for the highest letter. That tells you it's the newest part. And in this case, the PTU, the letter G, that's it. You're looking for that when you replace that PTU. And that would be the newest one. Now, if you can buy an older one that, you know, is down the chain in the alphabet and get it for, you know, several $100s off, then, you know, that's good. But if they're selling it for the same price as a G, just get the G. That's right. Go for it. And get that oil changed. And personally, if it was me, and I was buying a PTU, as soon as I had that thing installed, I'd drain that fluid out of there, whatever garbage they put in there, and get some of that red line in there and get that thing up to speed, and then begin changing it at 10,000 miles. And you may even want to change it before then, just, you know, after the red line's in there, just to flush, because there will be initial metal shavings and everything else from the initial use to get out of there. So it wouldn't hurt to do it after about 1,000 or 2,000 miles. Do another drain and fill on it and do that. If it's under warranty, I would not put a plug in it to drain it, just the way it is. And it's a shame on Ford not providing the drain plug PTUs here in the United States that they provide in the Middle East for the other generations. It makes no rhyme or reason. So anyway, that's how it's all working out here and everything. Let's see. I'm going to see what other people are saying. See, Jan, I have been handing out your invite cards, and have you had any new members from St. Louis? Jan, I haven't really checked where all of them from because they come from all over the world. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I'd have to go back and check and see. I've been personally handing them out to people I run across too, and I don't know if they joined either. I just haven't paid that much attention. It's a pretty hopping thing for me right now at work. I am going nuts, and I try to make sure that, you know, I get my day job done. And quite frankly, I got clients wanting me to be there for days at a time now, and unfortunately, there's only so many days a month, so I'm literally running out of time, folks, and this makes things hard to even do my own car repairs right now. So, Hector, there is no time on when to change the TSS OSS sensors. Most people wait until they start getting signs and symptoms of the failure. If you have a 2008 or 7 Ford Edge and you know they've never been replaced, you could be proactive and go ahead and pay a mechanic or somebody, or do it yourself and replace them now. And then that way you don't have to worry about if they're going to fail, because it seems like they fail often, and they fail in many of the first gen Edges. So if you feel you want to be proactive, then by all means change them out, and then be rest assured that you've basically dodged that bullet, as they say, and you can keep motoring on without a problem. But if I had a 2007 or 8 personally, and it was never been changed, I think I'd just change them and call it a day. That way you can control the situation rather than the car controlling it for you, and that's always good, because it's not fun being stuck on the side of the road and your car don't run. So control your situation, control the direction of your life, and get it done ahead of time. That's all I can tell you on that. That's, you know, proactive, as they say, rather than reactive, and that's always good. Let's see. Other things that going on. You guys getting ready for Christmas? I know it's Halloween. I already see the Christmas stuff out. Holy cow. you know, on MACT Garage, I posted a picture of something that I'm getting the girls for Christmas, and it has, I can't say it, they'll watch this. Holy cow, what am I doing? I got them a good present. I can't, I would love to tell y'all, but I can't. Now, they're not a member of the garage, so I know they can't see that. So if you want to see what I'm getting them for Christmas, you got to go to the garage and join the garage to see it. And they're not on that, so I'm not worried about it. But, you know, if you want to see what it is, I posted it. So we'll go from there. But anyway, all sorts of stuff. Other thing that I'm doing, I'm going to do a, hopefully I can get the GoPro to work out right, another video. I bought a barn, and it's going to be built on site in my backyard, and the whole goal, like I said before, is to take everything in the garage and put it in the barn. So everything going out of the garage so I can have some place to work out of the rain, out of the snow. I have a heater and all this stuff, and then I can work in my garage and turn it into somewhat of a small little studio to do car repair on my cars in my Rufus pickup truck. So that's my plan for this winter, is to try to work on that, organize things, and get it going. And then I could do more work at home rather than going to the shop. But also the shop that I go to has a lift, so a lift is really nice to have. So I go there and do anything that requires a lift. But other than that, not a big deal. I'm just happy that it's happening on, I think, the 24th of October if the weather's good. So we go there. Other things, what do we got? I'm going to go around a bunch of stores today. I got a video project, and I got to go to a bunch of stores and get some video made. I'm not promoting anything that I'm doing. I'm just checking on something. So you guys will see the video. I think you'll find it interesting. Other than that, gosh, what is going on? Just the holidays are quickly approaching. Winter's coming in. I got to get snow tires. I got to go out and measure my 2 snow tires in the garage to see what their tread is left on them to make a decision. Do I buy 2 new tires or do I buy 4? And I'm just going to stick with the Blizzaks. I've always used Blizzaks. I'm going to stick with them. You know, I don't know, because if I only buy 2, then I only have to buy 2 Blizzaks. If I buy a different brand, then I have to buy 4, and I don't want to do that. Just in case I don't like them. But the Blizzaks have always been good for me, so I'm probably not going to jump from that. And I'm not going to spend the money, because I don't want to spend the money, that much money, on an experiment. That costs a lot of money. So, you know, and then to find something I don't like. Now, if I had a tire sponsor and I could do that, then I would. But, you know, this is all out of pocket, so don't expect me to go out and test expensive stuff like that, because the old YouTube budget can't handle it. No. Small stuff, good. Little oil testing samples here and there, good. Big stuff like that, yeah, no budget for it, folks, so it ain't gonna happen. But speaking of snow tires, it is that time. I try to get mine on before the first snowfall, and no, the snowfall the other day did not count. The ground's too warm, so therefore it doesn't stick. And it was just a little snow flurry is all it was. So you just leave it at that. But I am going to get the snow tires on. I'll pay attention to the weather, and then once I see a snowstorm approaching, I will pre-buy the tires here shortly. And then once I get the tires pre-bought, then all I have to do is swing by them and have them installed. I don't have to wait. And that's the biggest problem once you get to that close part of it. Oh my gosh, Stephen Ashton lives. You guys see that? Stephen Ashton lives. I have not seen Stephen on. Have you guys missed Stephen? Stephen used to be everywhere, and all of a sudden Stephen just dropped. After he came to visit me, I don't know, maybe, I don't know what happened. He came to visit, we had the meeting, and then he just dropped off the map. Yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe the Canadian, French-Canadian mafia got a hold of him. I wasn't sure what was going on. But he's there. He's apparently alive. He's already made a couple comments, so I don't know. We'll go from there. Hurricane, folks. I wish all of you the best. It's just horrendous, the damage in the various areas in Florida got hit by this quick moving hurricane. And my thoughts and prayers are with you all, and hope everybody recovers well and gets themselves back into as near normal life as they can while they repair, if they have to repair, and also help. So if you guys feel the need to help, there are plenty of organizations you can donate to and all this other stuff. Do so on your own free will that you feel you want to do, and then you can get, feel good about yourself on that way. So as with all things, you want to make sure that you're good. I don't know, a good person of the world. That's all it takes. Just be a nice person. So let's see what else we got. Not too much going on here. Only got a few people watching today. But yeah, I got lots of things on. I just bought 2 Motorcraft strut bearing mounts, and I will be buying 2 new OEM springs for the front on Lou. And then I will buy the KYB struts. Yes, it's all done. I always pre-plan. I buy the parts as I have the money, and then by the time I get all the parts, I go and do the repair. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm buying the springs, buying the struts, and buying the motor mounts. The whole goal behind this whole process is that I then take them to the garage. Yes, I take them to the garage. They assemble them for me. A few bucks. They put them together. Now I have quick struts that I bought the parts for myself. Is it going to cost a little more? Yeah, but some of the folks here that have been putting these quick struts on have been having issues. The KYBs, you don't know what the strut bearing mount is, and it seems like that maybe I had 2 people, and one's unrelated, but one person bought the KYBs, and there's a thumping noise. And I don't know what the results of his check was, but it seems like, I would say, the top strut nut was not tight enough, and it was thumping, making a thumping noise. So I don't know if that was the case. I'm waiting for him to answer. Another person had bought their own struts. It didn't get the nut tight enough, and if you don't get the nut tight enough on top, then you'll get a thumping sound because it's loose. So you gotta put these things on with an impact. They gotta be tight. If you don't have them tight, you're gonna get a thump, and guess what? You know what that means? You gotta take the strut back off and retighten it. And generally you do that with the spring compressed. So you're starting all over again. So do it right the first time to save yourself some trouble. Let's see, Manny's on there. Just put on KYB struts and Motorcraft mounts. See? Even I'm right once in a while. Manny went ahead and did, and I'm sure Manny's gonna love it. So good job on you. That's always a good thing. If y'all ask me over time, what have I proven on things? I've ran Monroe's shocks. I've ran OEM, and I ran KYB. I found and also ran Master Pro strut bearing mounts. I've ran Moog strut bearing mounts. I've ran the Motorcraft strut bearing mounts, and if I'm using Motorcraft, and I've been through, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of struts, and I've come down to the conclusion that the Motorcraft strut bearing mount is the bearing mount you want, and the KYB shocks are what I prefer. Okay, so I marry those two together. Now, why am I taking and buying new springs? Well, the springs on my Ford Edge, Lou, have 250,000 miles of bouncy. Yeah, what do you think? Think it's time to replace the springs, refresh them? Well, one thing I'm going to do is buy the OEM Motorcraft springs. I'm not buying aftermarket because, one, I'm going to measure the Motorcraft ones that I buy to see if their diameter is the same as the OE diameter springs. Yeah, are the springs the same thickness? So I will do a measurement on those to see if they're the same diameter, and if they are, then we know I got. Now my question is, as some folks have been mentioning, is the springs that come on the pre-made ones are not as large diameter. What does that do for you? Don't know, but I'm going to assume that it's not going to be the same ride, because now you got thinner springs. So folks have not provided me with information that went with the Monroes as compared to the OEM or OE springs, so I don't know anything, but various sources within the internet have mentioned that the springs are generally thinner. So when you buy these quick struts, keep in mind, are you getting a substandard or cheaper spring put in place for them to save money and charge you more? Yeah, it's all about profit, right? So just keep that in mind. So I'd rather buy my parts, make sure they're the Motorcraft and they are OEM and the same diameter and size and everything else. So that is how I'm going to go with it. So if you guys follow my lead, you can. If not, go off on your own. Let me know how it works for you. Just like the fans, the cooling fans on the engine. Tell people all the time, Motorcraft, 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 and then they go buy a TYC or a Dorman or something, and then next thing you know, they're taking it back, getting a new one, taking it back, getting a new one, taking it back. I mean, come on. You might have saved $100, but did you really save any time? And that's the question. Not to mention your car is overheating, it could blow a gasket. Yeah, you don't want that. So, there's always lessons learned here from the group that you need to apply. I'm not saying I'm right all the time, but tell you what, I'm just giving you my experience, and experience can count for something. So we do there. Manny says, I did the HR springs, just have the fronts installed so far, and they feel really great to me. Well, H&R, I will say, put engineering effort into that, and H&R ain't going to slump. Okay, they're not going to skimp on stuff. So that would be it. But if you're buying a Dorman spring or something from Monroe, I'm telling you, folks, be careful. Okay, but H&R's got a reputation to maintain, so they're going to make sure those springs are what they need to be based on what you're aiming for. So that is definitely a specific aftermarket spring designed to do something. So you can't really compare other springs to that, because that's sort of like apples and oranges. So you got to weigh in that difference there. But I'm talking straight OEM replacement springs here, Manny. So, I'm glad you like what you're doing on it. But here in Iowa, construction sites I drive on and then snow, we don't need lower edges. Not a good combination. Not going to work. You see me driving with a lowered edge into a construction site to go do an inspection, that ain't going to work. I have to park a half a mile away to get to the construction site. So, not that the exercise wouldn't be good for me, but, what the heck. Sometimes it's cold and hot. What can I say? But anyway, yeah, watch what you're doing with those struts and springs and everything else. What else we got going on? I see all sorts of stuff that folks are trying to do in the repairs, and they're doing a great job. We got a few people replacing the inner tie rods and outer tie rods. Something that I've never had to do on any edge I've ever owned, but there's some good write-ups there. Had some folks do some good pictorials. I want to thank Jeff Leeper for his contribution to the latest video I did. I did something a little different on replacing the armrest cover on his MKX, and I used photographs and text to describe it with music. I'm not saying a word in the thing. It's just a straight up slide presentation with music and some text to tell you how to do it. So I'm waiting to see how that video turns out, because it was something I generally don't do, and I thought it was interesting. So thanks, Jeff, for the contribution on that. Jeff says he's willing to provide me with a few more photo essays on some other repairs he's done on his MKX, so that will be interesting to see when it happens. What else we got going on here? I did the new member thing earlier, so go there. A shameless plug for my t-shirts and stickers, folks. If you want to get the stickers, just go to MACTgarage.com and click on the donate button under the social tab. You can buy the stickers. The pricing is put right there. Just tell me what color that you're looking for, and as long as I have the color, I can send you the sticker. If I don't have the color you request, it's going to be extra money. So either pick what I got or pay extra to get a different one. Also t-shirts, ball caps, sweatpants, shorts, long sleeve shirts, whatever you want to do, folks. You can get any shirt you want, or any pair of pants, or a coat. You can do anything. Hoodies, whatever. Just ask them. It is not MACT t-shirt. It is MACT apparel. So you can pick your apparel, and they can screen whatever they want. There's 3 different versions of my t-shirts out there. You can pick whatever you want, or maybe even make a combo of it for something special order. But you do have that option, so by all means do that. That money, of course, goes back into the channel along with the YouTube and everything else. And I do make use of my money, folks. Yep, I do make use of the money, and in ways that you would not even be aware of. So, just leave it at that. But, let's see, what else we got going on? We got a few pictures. Kevin's got his posted up here of his beautiful Orange Crush Edge. And he's out getting her up and running and everything else and doing well with that. What else do we got? Let's see, tie rods. Jeff is currently going to be doing his lockpick work on his MKX. I'm interested to see how that turns out. Apparently it opens up a whole new world of information for your vehicle, so it'll be interesting to see how that's all going. And oh, I spoke too soon. He's already got it half apart here according to the page. He's almost done. So maybe we can look forward to a slide presentation. I think he said he is going to do that. Then I'll put together a video on that so you guys will have something to learn how to use this lockpick and get more out of your first gen Edge MKX, I guess. I don't think this is going to be for the 1.5 or the 2.0, but it would definitely be something that's going there. Got Giovanni. He's got a howling sound that when he turns his steering wheel to the left, and he hopes everybody can hear it. I'm going to tell you all, I must be deaf or I have a hard time with it. It's all guessing, okay? We're not there personally, and sometimes the cameras and the phones don't pick up the sounds as well. So it can be a guess. Don't know, but usually if it involves your car turning, it is steering gear related most of the time. So just keep that in mind. It could be other things, but that would be the first place to check. And then if it's rolling, it's going to be either bearings or suspension related things. Okay, it sort of narrows it down where you want to target. You got to move on from there. And then just follow the trail. That's all you got to do. Follow the trail, and then find out what's going on there. I do not know of a Rock Auto discount code. There may be advertising some, but it's usually like sales and stuff like that. I do know that the Tasca Auto Parts has a code that changes month by month, and I usually try to post the code up a few times a month, what it is, so you can save 5%. But right now they're having a 5% sale, so I don't know if the discount code will be able to work with a 5% sale. So just keep that in mind too. Let's see what else we got going on here. Good Solution seems that too many miles past it is cracked. Yep, we got those cracked armrests, and I post that video up there. We got notices on the new edges that are coming out. Everything's going crazy. New Year's starting. All the edges are starting to hit the showroom floors, and people are trying to buy them. I don't know. $50,000 Ford Edge, folks. That's getting a little on the steep side. I want a second gen. I really do. I want to be able to make videos on the EcoBoost engine, whatever flavor, and maybe next year, I'll find my way into one once I get Blueberry paid off, and then try to get one that's I know a lot of you, the big thing is now the 2 liter, and I would be remiss in not getting one, but I truly want a 2.7 Sport too. So I gotta weigh my odds, options, and what I got as far as what I'm gonna buy. I need basic transportation for folks, so we're going to have to see what we're going to do on that and what I can come up with, but it'll probably be a 15, 16, 2-liter, and it might, I don't like to buy anything other than the limited titanium model line. If I'm going to get something, might as well get it good, but you save a lot of money by waiting 2 or 3 years. You truly do. The car wreck is over and you don't depreciate as much as you would a brand new vehicle. And a brand new vehicle, just, man, talk about depreciation. Off the showroom, it loses what, 40-50% of its value within the first few years. That's crazy. You know, that's like throwing money away. That's just insane. So anyway, I'm a used car guy. You just got to check them. Let's see. Charity, she's posting, I don't know, Cherry joined the Army, or Henry joined the Army, I'm not sure. We might see a machine gun mounted on the top of Henry here pretty soon, and camouflage paint. Charity, stripes, racing stripes. Charity, racing stripes. Anyway, lots of good pictures, folks, for the banner. Remember, turn that camera sideways and then take the picture, step back, and essentially you want the forward edge to be no more than one third or so of the photo, 1/4. If it covers more than one half of the picture, it's too close. It just is. So I can't use that. It has to be about a third. Kevin Messner could probably tell you. He's got some great shots. He could tell you how far and how much percentage makes for a good photo for the banner. So he would definitely be my go-to on that. But again, experiment. Take lots of pictures, and there's always one that's going to be usable. So, you know, safety in numbers, as they say. Let's see, what else we got? PTUs for sale, Napa oil, oil test results, and Chris, he did an oil test result based on Mobile One, and I think it was O'Reilly, and interesting results, folks, as far as the comparison on a used oil sample. The O'Reilly was the same, essentially, as the Mobile One. Now, keep in mind that, you know, he didn't do a TBN on it. That I would like to have saw the TBN on both the oils. But essentially, as far as wear and everything else, the O'Reilly is a cheaper oil, and it worked out just as well as any Mobile One would. Now that ought to tell you something right there. You know, Mobile One says, "Oh, we're all this," and yet an off-the-shelf O'Reilly oil that's cheaper had the same results. And it was ran longer. It had more hours on it, I think, than the other one. So, you know, that ought to make you think. You know, how can a store brand oil come up with as good of results, or better in some cases, than the Mobile One? And, you know, the O'Reilly still beats out Mobile One as far as additives easily. So, not a big deal. And let's see, what else? Oh yeah, the Amazon Basics. Yes, I did test the Amazon Basics. I'll put a video out, and I'll compare it to the nearest oil that it meets, and some other information on it. And you guys can make a decision on the Amazon Basics and what my overall take on the Amazon Basics is. I will be using the Amazon Basics. Let me think about that for a minute. But I will be using it. I already bought it. So I will run it, and we'll see how it turns out after being used. Based on where it came out at, I'm not concerned at all. I'm not concerned. Okay, it is an oil. It will work, and it has additives. So I'm going to run it. That way I have a new virgin sample and a used sample for comparison. And I'll make a video on the virgin sample first, comparing it all. Then I'll do a used, and we'll go over the used. But you know, it's a synthetic oil, and I'll let you guys know. I'm not going to give it away. I'm trying to be, you know, as neutral as possible on this one. But nobody paid for me to do this, so it's all on my nickel, and I can do what I want. So that's what I'm going to do. Batteries. Everybody's asking for batteries. Well, we're getting into the summer heat. Everybody wants to know about batteries. Now we're getting into the cold weather. Everybody wants to know about batteries. Well, if y'all haven't figured it out, I'm a proponent of AGM batteries. And I've gotten here, come this February, granted I got to go through another winter, I will have 3 years on my Odyssey battery. Granted, an Odyssey battery is expensive, but you know what? That thing, I think, is going to live a long time. So we're going to keep following it and seeing how it does over time. And this winter, I may do a check on it and see where it's at and see how it's handling its 3rd year of life in my Edge. But AGM gives you more power. The Edge loves its power, so therefore provide power to it and make sure that it is, of course, running good. So back into the group here, seeing what everybody's doing. Since I'm live here, let's see. I'm going to get back in here, see who's saying what. Uh-oh, what did I do? Got to exit full screen. I got a lot of stuff going on here, so I can't really see it. But anyway, there we go. Finally got it back right. Anyway, what else we got? Brian, you ever looked at Arch Oil 9100 additive for PTO and power steering? I've had great oil results from Blackstone when I use it in my truck. Currently have it in my Edge PTO and plan on getting it checked when I change it. Brian, I'm not really a big advocate of oil additives or anything like that. Mainly because I've never had any issues with the oils that I use and the additives that are in there. To me, additives can be anywhere from snake oil to meh as far as an improvement. But with my 250,000 mile Edge and all my components running just fluids with no additives, I'm going to say that I have the same results as you, but I didn't pay for additives. That makes sense? So I didn't have the extra expense. I think I've proven that over enough time now with 2 Edges that have over 250,000 miles on them that I use no additives, therefore additives mean nothing to me. You know, if they make you feel better and give you peace of mind, then hey, nothing wrong with it. I have no problems on it. But me personally, I've never used an oil additive in any one of my Edges, and like I said, 250,000 miles second time around on a second Edge with no additives. Now I do pour a fuel additive in occasionally in the gas tank to try to keep carbon deposits down, but other than that, I don't do it, and I don't even do the fuel additives that much. I probably should do it more. Who knows? My wife idles her car to death. If I have a major failure on any vehicle, it's going to be Blueberry, because that thing's abused beyond all reasonable belief. And I say that kindly. My wife drives it the way she has to drive it, but holy cow, you know, that city drives is hard on any vehicle. So if there's a water pump failure in my future, it's going to be Blueberry. That's all I'm going to tell you. You know, cars and idling, not a good deal. Anyway, I don't see a whole lot of folks on here right now. I know everybody's getting busy with their Saturday, and I just want you all to make sure that you do join up on MACT Ford Edge on Facebook if you are watching this on YouTube. And if you are not a member of YouTube, like and subscribe to YouTube, MACT Ford Edge on YouTube. Watch the videos, nearly 400 videos now. My video blogs here, and of course other things going on. And not to mention the great music from the Band of One. And my feet hit the floor today, and I'm having a great day. Remember, MACTgarage.com has all the information on all 3 generations of Edges that you would need. And Mercy Girl has a couple one-liners after this, and maybe some bonus footage on the YouTube channel. See y'all later. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Go production.
Okay. Sí, cambia el temperatura arriba. Sí, es arriba. Turn on the fan. There you go.
Yeah.
The fan, medio, en el medio.
¿En el medio?
Sí, más, no.
¿Sí?
Sí,
¿Ya?
pero el carro sí frío ahora.
Sí. Ok, Billy, hasta luego.
Bye.
Ya, corrito, cuando te vas a sentar, tienes que...